Hey, how's it going, everyone? Welcome back to another episode of the DTB podcast, the number one barber podcast on YouTube and of the world.
Stay down, came up, God made a way. Stay down, came up, God made a way.
Today we have a special guest, another episode where we just want to share valuable information that we think is going to help you transform your lives. But before that, we're going to pass it on to our co-host.
What's up? What's up? This is KO out here. We got episode 10, man. And actually for episode 10, we want to do something really special for you guys, everyone in the industry. I'm sure you guys know this. Los Angeles Icon. We got Leche in the house. Let's go.
Appreciate you guys for having me, man. It's a dope setup. It's a real eye shocker, man. So I like what you guys have going on right here, man.
Yeah, thank you for taking your time, Leche. And I appreciate you coming here, doing this episode. I actually wanted to bring you here to do an episode because I actually known about you and I seen you in the barber game for like, I want to say at least, I've been cutting for 10 years.
Okay.
So I seen you for 10 years. I haven't been, I started recently following you like 5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
But I saw you with Diego. So
yeah.
I was like, I saw you around, but I didn't know exactly what were you doing.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
So what were you doing when you were with him?
I mean, we would travel the world. I mean, if we start how I met Diego, that's a crazier story. So I actually went to school with his cousin, and then his cousin, she saw me just getting into cutting hair, you know? He's like, dude, you know what? You should follow my cousin. He's actually a barber in the game. And when I first went to his Instagram, he had done a portrait of Marilyn Monroe on somebody's head. And I was like, what the fuck?
Damn.
Like, who is this guy?
Yeah.
So I started following him. I went to his first class that he ever did, education. And mind you, I'm still in school.
First class that he ever did?
First class he's ever done. And I was still in school.
Yeah.
So we fast forwarded, you know, through just showing up to every class he did, networking. I would visit him at his shop, you know. I would pay services just to pick his brain. Bro, I got no hair, you know. So just to have some type of, you know, conversation piece and just always show up. And my biggest thing is, like, if you ever want a mentor, we already know what we're going to receive, but what are we going to bring to them?
Yeah.
So, I think we just found a bond of what I brought to him and then he brought to me. And now we mentor each other. We travel the world together. We've educated together. Like, it's just, it's a crazy ass story from me thinking of, oh man, I'm following this guy, to now traveling the world with him.
Yeah.
So.
But at that point, how did you discover what you wanted to provide for him? Because, like me, right? I'm trying to think what I could provide for you.
Correct. Be yourself. I'll tell you that. Be yourself. I think one of the first things that he told me is I don't think I was ever a yes man. You know, like oh yes, whatever you need. Oh yes. No, I was like, I have my values. I have my core. And if at any point they didn't coincide, I'll tell them. I'll tell him. I'll tell you. I'll tell anybody. But like, hey, bro, like, you know, chill. Or that didn't go. This and that. And this is the reason why. So I think he really took a lot of appreciation over that, because maybe around him he just had a lot of yes sirs around him, and I was the first one to be like, nah, bro, that don't fly. And he was like, oh shit, nobody's ever talked to me like that.
Yeah.
And that's, plus, granted, I'm newer in the game in barbering, but I also have 20 years of people management, developing leaders in my corporate life before hair. So I think all that kind of helped in him when he was growing his business. So.
And right now that you mentioned that, so what did you do before you actually started cutting hair? You know, you say you have 10 years in the game of just experience,
cutting.
You know?
Of cutting, correct.
Of cutting.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
So before, my last position was a director of sales and operations for a company who sold T-Mobile. So I was responsible of opening locations, hiring, payroll, you know, writing checks and firing people, everything, you know. So at that point, I was just doing that. And the only reason I left that job, because that was a very comfortable job. Yeah. Let me tell you, it was something I knew, something I've done for years. I think developing people is at the core, is what I'm passionate about.
Wait, did you go to school for that?
I did, but I didn't finish. Yeah, I went for business management.
You weren't doing business management?
Yeah,
okay, because I did business management, so I'm like, I'm hearing what you're saying, and like developing people is like the most important part of management.
Correct, correct.
Yeah, keep going.
So creating leaders around you makes your job easier. You know, because sometimes we try to do everything ourselves.
Yeah.
And for that control, what we were talking about earlier, of having that control. But no, sometimes you got to delegate, let go, and trust that you train them to do the job, you know? So what was that?
So fast forward to kind of what you were doing, the 10 years of, or the experience that you have before you actually got into barbering.
So now I'm having conversations with Diego or anybody else, and our conversations are different because I'm not talking like a barber. I'm not speaking about hair and cutting. I'm speaking about business, growing, marketing. You know, how do we get people to come to our and I'm not a flashing person at all.
Yeah.
I think my value is when we have conversations. That's where I bring in the value. That's where I always try to bring out the best of others, whoever I'm talking to. You know? Did I make an impact? If I made an impact, then I did my job. But if you see the people that I used to run with, I mean, I still run with them. It's just they're more flashier. They're more, inked up, and they like higher end items. And to me, I'm like, bro, if it's comfortable, let's go.
Yeah,
like
I think you know that you don't need that
Correct.
to make an impression.
Correct.
Right. And regarding that, making impressions, are you intentional with it? Like right now when you were driving over here, is that something you're thinking about, or it's just in you already?
it could be either in me or just so many years of experience. I'll tell you one thing, bro. We all breathe the same and we all bleed the same. Bro.
Yeah.
There's nothing different between any of us. And how old are you, if you don't mind me
I'm
asking?
26.
You're 26 years old, right? Your first 26 are different than my 26, which are different than your 26. So just because I'm older doesn't make me wiser, right? I have 10 years cutting hair. You have 10 years cutting hair. We have 2 different 10 years of cutting hair.
Yeah.
So there's knowledge that you bring to the table. And it's
Correct.
naive of me to think I'm not going to learn from you.
Yeah, correct.
Yeah.
So the fact that we're all the same is just we have to exchange information.
Yeah,
How
exchange
can I get
information.
motivated from you, and how can I motivate you?
Yeah.
That's
all it
right.
is.
You know, right now that you said that, it kind of something clicked to me to where there was this post going around Instagram where it was like, would you take like $5 million or a dinner with Jay-Z or something like that?
Correct.
I feel like some of us are like, man, do we take X amount of money or fucking dinner with Leche, to
Right.
pick his brain so he can let us know, his expertise and what we can learn out of that. And to me, honestly, I would want to sit down with you and just talk about life and just talk about in what way you can steer me and to guide me into being not only a better barber, but a better person and a better individual, to motivate my team and, how to be a great leader. That's just kind of something that I wanted to bring up because I see you a lot every time that I go into any event and you're there. All the time it's like, I need to go up to Leche and pick his brain a little bit and just even if it's a small talk conversation, like I know I'm always going to take something home.
I appreciate that too. And my advice would be take the money, bro.
Take the money.
I'm free, bro. You just got to hit me up.
Yeah.
That's dope.
Take the money, and then you could take me to dinner. There you go.
Yeah,
Sounds good. That's dope.
No. But I appreciate your words. And yeah, man, I mean, I'm here to serve. So wherever I can serve, I will serve,
Yeah, though. Let's just. So I saw that you were traveling the world, and it's like I think that's every barber's dream
Right.
to teach globally.
Yeah.
So what was your biggest takeaway from all that?
I mean, the culture shock was awesome,
The culture shock,
It's
right?
just you go and see different cultures, see how different people live, the mindset of everybody.
Yeah.
Like I said, since I go in as an open book and a sponge to learn from others, I think it was awesome to see just their upbringing, their way of lifestyle. There's
Yeah.
a lot of similarities. Obviously, if you go to first world countries to ours, but it's when you go to third world countries. It's when you go to the more impoverished.
What third world country did you go to?
Well, I mean, we've gone to Mexico. I mean, Mexico's not, we think it's first world, but it's not.
no.
The Dominican Republic,
Damn.
Brazil. So you go to them, it's just the hustle is bigger than ours. We think we hustle, man. They hustle. They hustle
big.
for food, fam.
Damn.
Like it's just to feed their family, and we're over here like trying to buy shoes, and trying to buy all these other things. So, so I get inspired by that culture shock, and I mean, me traveling happened very naturally. Like I think since I was always educating in my corporate life,
Yeah.
that transition was easy. All I had to do is learn the subject or the topic, which was hair.
Yeah.
And as soon as I learned hair, then it was just like, okay, now how can I help people get to whatever I have achieved? Whatever skill set that I have achieved, how can I teach somebody else?
Yeah. I think every skill set is teachable. I believe
Without
that
a
too,
doubt,
right?
no.
I think that's why you're really passionate about developing people.
Right.
Do you think you could teach someone to have the will and to dream big or
I mean, you could paint the picture, you know?
Yeah.
They always say you could take the horse to water, but you can't force them to drink it.
Yeah.
So
I heard this another is that you could take the horse to the river, but not force them to drink the water
correct.
unless you change the environment. So like right now, right?
Okay.
You have your clothes on, right? But if I put the heater up to like 150 degrees, we all take off our clothes because we're all hot. So you change the circumstances around them. Eventually, the horse will drink the water.
Yeah.
I heard that one. That one changed my perspective of
mindset.
everything. Yeah.
It could be, but I mean, that's to me that's a lot of catering.
Yeah.
Like, oh, the situation's got to be perfect for you in order for you to drink water.
Correct.
Then you lack vision. Do you get what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So if I'm trying to talk to somebody and I go through this all the time, you know, I'll talk to them, and then if we're on our third meeting, fourth meeting, and we're still talking about meeting one,
Yeah.
then I'm the one that starts tapering off, because then I can't want it more than you.
Yeah.
You know,
True.
so if I want it more than you, then you're lacking the vision. So then, okay, it's no problem with it. Just at this moment, you're not ready for the information.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So maybe that person has to experience life a little bit more, and then come back to me when they want it.
When they're ready, right?
And then, okay, now it's your time frame.
Correct.
Then we'll go forward. You know,
Yeah.
I don't take things personal, but it's just you have to understand timelines. Every person goes through the things. You have your ups and downs. You have your mental stresses. Everybody's going through it, and then even myself.
Yeah.
So when you meet somebody and just things are not going, okay, then it's just a time frame. I think of it like this. I don't know if it's kind of crazy, but this is how I feel interactions. So you said that we meet up, and every time we meet up, so our loop was big. Every now and then we would meet up. As of late, it's been a little bit more like this.
Yeah.
Okay? So the future could maybe be this. But back then, if we were trying to force this, we probably wouldn't have clicked, because you still needed to go through your journey
Yeah.
before we came back together. So then that's how I
That's true.
see things with people, and even with you, you know?
Yeah.
Even our first interaction.
Yeah. Correct.
If I recall correctly, you were kind of like, who is this guy? A little bit standoffish.
I was
trying
at
to see-
I was at the barbershop.
yeah,
Right, yeah.
trying
Yeah.
to see who this guy is, sizing me up, this and that, which I'm fine with. You know, it wasn't until I started throwing your flowers,
Yeah.
that you're like, oh wait, this guy isn't what I thought he was,
Yeah.
and then you opened up. But
Right.
it was just fine. Yeah, size me up, and that's fine. You know.
Yeah, that's true. So that's where I wanted to talk to you, because that day when we met, you were talking a lot about psychology.
Correct.
Right? And that's what I was speaking to my wife about that once you learn psychology, you become like prejudiced at some point. Like you haven't even met the person, and you're already
Profiling.
you're profiling.
Profiling.
You created an image in their head. So that's why partly I let off that energy that day, because I'm just analyzing the situation.
Correct.
And I've also not in regards to you, but I also met a lot of people who are frauds.
Correct.
So
And that's where I took it as.
that they just learn they know how to talk.
For real.
They know how to.
He's like, he's gonna see if I know what I'm talking about, and then we'll go from there.
Everybody was there. I was cutting hair, and I finished cutting hair, KO, and I just went to the chair and I sat down like this. And I remember, but I know this stance is kind of like defensive, right? It's like you're not being opened
I'll
up.
take it before the fact that you still had clients.
Oh, okay.
Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Because if you had a guest and they expect you to have a guest, then you would have blocked off the time.
Yeah.
But your guests were more important than the class.
No, what happened, GT didn't really explain us what time you were going to get there.
Okay.
Exactly. So he just, he might come from this time to this
From this time, okay.
So I was just like, okay, my last client is at this time. I think it'll fit perfectly.
Right.
Correct.
I mean, but like I said, I'm not taking offense or anything.
Yeah.
I have no problem with showing what I'm worth, and I might have not have been for you, and that's not a problem either. I don't. My shoe doesn't have to fit every foot. Is what I'm trying to say. You know.
Correct.
So.
But after that interaction and after you spoke to everyone, I was just like, no, Leche he knows psychology. Like, he knows how to read people.
Correct.
Obviously, you know. So going back to the question I say, so how important is psychology for you when it comes to doing business, any industry?
Yeah.
And why is it important?
It's vital because it gives you information that's not being provided for you.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Not being provided for.
Not being provided for.
Correct.
You. So anything that I can get off of your energy, your eyes are the biggest one, your body movement, your smirks, whatever you do, it just gives me so much data. And then how I carry the conversation will either confirm my profiling, my presumptions,
Yeah.
or deny. Like, oh no, it's not like that.
Okay.
But as I read, but the more I talk about it, the more it gets people uncomfortable because I just saw him go like, "Oh fuck, what, is he reading me?" Like, but you don't know you're doing it, and it's just little ticks and little. I mean, the good thing about it is that it gives you so much information. The bad thing about it, the con, is that you cannot turn it off.
I know. It's
I can't
so hard.
turn it off. I'll
It's
be
so hard.
having dinner with somebody, this and that, and they'll be like, "You're reading the room, huh?" I'm like, I just can't turn it off. I got to see what's going on. Who's this? What's that? What's going on? Boom, 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 boom. So, I mean,
It could get overwhelming, huh? Because sometimes I leave an event and then I am asking my question like, did I behave correctly? Did I give off this impression? Oh, this person was acting like this, and maybe I did miss. My head is just going crazy.
well, that will be a little bit different. That's more insecurities, right? Now you're talking about fraud. Careful, that might be you were trying to be someone you weren't.
That I weren't. Yeah.
That's why you're
correct.
checking. Did I do the thing? But if you are who you are, you never have to worry about those things.
Okay.
And don't worry about it if you don't fit everybody's foot.
Yeah.
Just be you, and what you attract will be like-minded people, and what you don't attract, you don't want.
Yeah, that's true.
So
That's true.
I mean,
that is something I've been developing lately. Like, I just want to be myself now.
Correct.
Like, I don't want to hold up an image. I don't want to be like, after I leave this, I'm like, oh, I'm happy that I was just myself, and whatever happened, happened, you know?
I'm happy that you were yourself for that class.
Yeah.
I could respect that.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like, I didn't get offended. I could respect that.
Correct.
So be you no matter what, you know?
Yeah, true.
And just practice more in psychology. Psychology is a never ending. Be a student of psychology. Let me rephrase that. Never, because we learn something, that's it. No, it gets deeper and deeper, and we have to practice it more often. Like, I have years of trying to develop, you know, I actually at this point, I'm not even trying to develop. I'm just trying to see, and I even like it when I misread somebody. I'm like,
yeah.
see?
Correct.
Like, I misread them, and I need to practice more. What part threw me off, this and that. So I start analyzing myself and how to sharpen myself a little bit more.
But I wanted to ask you one last thing about psychology, because I'm learning as I go, Leche, and I'm learning about personalities. I'm learning about, like, I was just hearing the podcast about, like, natural selection. Like, I think what makes us distinct as human is the fact that we mate. And when we mate, there's a lot of psychology behind it. You know, it's like
Through our DNA, or what do you mean? Or
yeah, mainly like women. Like, I was hearing this. It's a study, right? So they did a study in a college campus, and men will go up to women and they will ask them 3 questions. First, will you go on a date with me? Second, will you go to my apartment? And the third was, will you have sex with me right away? And when they asked on the date, 50% said, yeah, I'll go on a date. Go to my apartment, like 10% said yeah. Will you have sex with me? They said 0%. Because women need more information. They need emotional connection.
Right.
And then they did the opposite. And then the men, it was like 80% men. 80% men, when you say, will you have sex with me? They're like, yeah, let's go. Like, I'm ready. So I'm just learning this psychology part, and I'm learning how to behave with people, and it has shifted me a lot, just into how to interact with people, how to handle business, how to carry myself, just how to deal with family situations. Just everything is just like, it has came down to psychology, you know.
And even in that study, it isn't really about men or women, you know. I could guarantee you, if you go walking somewhere, and 10 people ask you, hey, can you give me a haircut right now? How many times would you say yes, and how many times would you say no?
I'll say no a lot.
Right. Why?
Yeah.
Because we have so much demand for haircuts.
Yeah.
That's why we can say no. So men say yes because their demand to have sex isn't that high. So yeah, I'll do it. But when you were learning and you had 10 models, hey, you cool to cut my hair?
Yeah, let's do it.
How many times did you say yes?
Let's do it right now, yeah.
So it's just, I mean, in that and like study, I mean, of course, women have more demand for that physical interaction than men do.
Yeah.
Right.
And certain type of men, you know, some men do have that type of a pull, but I mean, yeah, that's why I'm so worried. Like, studies are kind of like, you can really manipulate a study,
True.
to get the result that you want.
I think it's because it was done in the college campus.
Even more so.
It got those
Even
results.
more so. Hormones are so high there too, you know.
Yeah.
But you can take that anywhere, you know. I've actually had conversations with women in general. It's like,
Yeah.
look, what you market, even on Instagram and everything, whatever you market, people are gonna want to buy.
Okay.
Just understand that. So if you post provocative images, well, they're gonna want to buy sex.
Yeah, they want to buy sex. Yeah,
So
correct.
that it's just think of it as a business, and you are the product, because Instagram is a tool to market.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So whatever you market, that's what our people are gonna want. So if you market that you're always partying and drinking, me as a business, I'm not gonna buy that product.
Yeah.
Because I need somebody responsible and who's going to deliver my product and get my return of investment.
Correct.
But my stories and my Instagram is like, oh, I'm balling out. Then it doesn't match.
Yeah.
And then people wonder, man, I cut good hair. I do this. I do that. How come a company doesn't want to pick me up? Well, what are you marketing?
Correct. So now that we're entering into that, the companies, who was the biggest person or like the most that you enjoyed working with the brand or the person? Like, who has it been?
I mean, I enjoy working with all of them. You know, they all brought a different asset or perspective to my career. I mean, Diego's the one that I've traveled the most with and strand the band and everything. So I think that the bond and connection is there the most. And you know, Tori Hanzo did a lot for my career. They're great scissors. And aside from that, the biggest thing is like the payment option. I don't see anybody else doing those payment options, you know? So even for me, I was a consumer before I was an educator.
Yeah.
The fact that I was fresh out of school and they offered me to pay this off little by little and I got good items in my hand, like I couldn't buy a clipper like that. I had to save my money and buy the clipper. I'm talking about day one, you know?
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, and whenever I had high quality things in my hand and high quality education, I just wanted to do more. I wanted to get better. I wanted to learn and try a new technique and everything that I did. But if I always try to low budget my either equipment or my education, then I'm only going to low budget my career.
Like I saw from what I seen from going to events and stuff like that, I did see an absence from you at a certain point where like, yo, where's Leche at? Like, how come he's not here? I'm ready to pick his brain, you know, but you weren't there. And
Right.
then you were more into different things, golfing to be one of the biggest ones.
And you said you're kickboxing too, right?
Boxing.
Boxing, yeah. So that made me realize that maybe sometimes you need to step back and enjoy life that has nothing to do with hair, nothing to do with barbering. So I was wondering to myself, like, maybe right now is that time frame for him where he's enjoying other things other than cutting hair. And what was that like for you, or at what point? Because I feel like right now I got all the fuel. You know, I want to be at every location, every event, every convention, every class that I can, and show up to show face to network. And I feel like that's my model, just to try to make it and try to get there, to let my face be seen. But then when I look at people that I look up to and they do these things and I'm like, wait, is there something wrong, or is it just something that they realized that they needed to do this, to whether it's just take some time off just to be with family, or just because it could have been something wrong that you just weren't liking where this was going anymore. Okay. At what point did you realize that you needed to step away for a bit, or it was just too much time in the game already, that it just seemed to be like the same thing over and over, or what really is it about the industry? I mean, you have the experience. I think I'm more newer to the scene, and you have the experience. You've been around a lot of celebrities. You've been a lot of these great barbers, professional and pioneers in the industry. At what point did you realize that you wanted to do that, and what made you actually make the decision for that?
So there's multiple items, things to that, those questions. So I think the industry is still, I mean, obviously the pandemic kind of brought everything down and it's slowly kind of crawling out of it and getting into it. But as far as myself, and when you compare it to yourself, like, remember, your journey and my journey are two different journeys, you know?
Yeah.
So definitely, like, these type of questions are good. Your journey and my journey are different. And don't think of me stepping back was anything industry related, you know? I think my wave has came and gone, you know? Do I have a lot to bring to the table? I still do. But now I'm doing it more at a one-on-one level. Like, if you guys ever want to do anything, or, I think I'm getting more value out of that. the biggest turning point was actually my father passed. You know, so he passed 2020 June.
Was it that was COVID, right? Made COVID? Was it because of COVID? Or?
No, it wasn't. It was 3 months into COVID. But he was fighting cancer for 6 years. You know, so it's a blessing because they gave us 6 months and he gave us 6 years. So yeah. So but yeah. So I mean, that gave me a perspective of like what's really important. You know, like now my mom's by herself. You know, at that moment, this and that. So I just had to change my. It was one might say it's perfect timing. You know, the industry was dying down. If we recall, like Diego and I were still touring during 2020.
Yeah.
Any state that was open was where we went to go give classes. You know, and even when Diego and I talk now, I was like, okay, but what are we going to teach? Because everything we teach, everybody's doing already.
Everybody's teaching it already.
Like what we taught, now we see everyone doing it.
But you
which
guys
is
were
a
the
blessing.
pioneers. You guys were the pioneers.
It's a blessing to see.
Yeah.
You know, the hybrid of shear work, styling, color,
shooting, models,
all that stuff. So it's a good to see. But now, what else are we going to bring to the table? And has our time passed? Now it's time to let the next group up. You know. So there's a lot of things that go in my mind when thinking about it, and even thinking, I'm like, do I want to get back into the circuit or not? It just has to be. If my passion is developing people, I think I could develop people more one-on-one than, hey, let me speak to thousands of people, and then
I heard only 3% leave and actually go do something.
Correct. Dude, even when I do my classes.
Yeah.
When I do my classes, I'll tell people. When I had the loft, I'll be like, dude, I invite all 100 of you, 100% of you guys to come to my loft. If you guys want, bring models. We'll do shoots. I'll teach you anything that you guys want. Just show it to my loft and I'll show you. And then I'll follow it up. You know why I invite everybody? Because I know 99.9% of you won't come. And I only want to talk to the 0.1%.
That's true.
That's it.
Yeah.
But if I would make it exclusive, people are going to want to be there for the wrong reasons.
Yeah, correct.
But if I leave it open to everybody and say, you have to do work to be here. You have to bring me a model. It's going to be benefit for them. I get zero out of it. I'll teach you how to cut it. I'll teach you how to shoot it. I'll teach you how to edit. I'll teach you everything. You just have to show up and bring me a model. People don't show up.
They don't show up.
So then I don't want to talk to people that don't want to be there for the right reasons. Yeah.
Yeah, correct. It's just was it bittersweet though to acknowledge it's time for a new wave of people to come through, and run the industry.
It's just how everything goes. Think of sports. I don't think it's a bittersweet because I still feel like I could deliver or whatever. Yeah. I think I still have information that people don't constantly hear. Going back to the psychology part, the business part, the mindset part. There's not too many people that think about it or talk about it. And the things that they do talk is that repetitive. It's like that regurgitation, they're just regurgitating what they hear. I received it and I'm gonna spit it back out. And I'm like, you haven't put it practice, you haven't lived it, you haven't done so many things to really understand. Because now if I come back with a rebuttal question or just a question, and I question people just to see how they all answer it, and they stumble, but okay, I'll get it. I don't want to put them on the spot or anything. But okay, cool, and that's it. All right, now I know that it's just more of a show, because they heard it somewhere,
Yeah.
So. Yeah, and especially right now, it's the time. TikTok, studies, like how you were saying, I saw this study. I'm like, well, what kind of study is it? How many people did they study? How many people did they talk to? What's the batch of information, So
where is it coming from, I think that study came from Dr. David Buzz. I don't know if you heard of Dr. David Buzz. You know Jordan Peterson? Mm-hmm. Okay, Jordan Peterson learns from that guy.
Yeah.
So it's I always tell people you got to be careful with the source of the information too. So now regarding that, Leche, how do you view the barber industry now with social media? How did you see in 2018, 2017? What's the difference?
Well, the huge difference was back then was driven by education.
It was driven by education?
People just want to learn more. Mm-hmm. How do we do, education was on the rise, and especially barbering was on the rise. So I think the source was everybody was trying to either get better or get out of their comfort zone, right? Yeah. Some people will come up to our classes and look, I've just been doing the same clients. It's just been repetitive. I I don't think I'm gonna do color, but it intrigues me.
Yeah.
And then when I talk to them, I'm like, okay, well, you got to be prepared to suck.
Yeah.
You know,
yeah.
because you've been so great at cutting hair, you're starting day one in color.
In color, yeah.
So sometimes when we're so good, we think it's going to transition and be good in color. No, you have to go through the growing pains, you know. But now, I mean, I can only speak from an outsider. I'm not because, like I said, I've taken 2 years back, but that I feel like it's been 2 years. But I mean, it's a lot of TikTok. It's a lot of gimmicky, you know. It's a lot of just like, you know, like now everybody has super dope edited videos. Now everybody, like everything's now the same, you know. So what's that next thing that's gonna catch?
Well, that's what I've been thinking about, but I haven't been able to process it. Well, what do you think is the next? Where do you see the industry going next?
It's gonna have to be. I don't know if it's gonna have to be. This is where I'm reinventing myself. Is I'm going back to long hair. So now it's just gonna be long hair haircuts and have female models I mean long hair. It doesn't have to be female, but you know, just going back to long hair and showing the diversity of cutting. And even though it's not considered barbering, you know, but remember,
it's like more like styling, right? Like stylist kind of.
We have to think of hair.
Yeah,
it's either
hair.
short, medium, or long.
Or long, yeah.
Hair is hair. That's why I
correct.
don't want to say women's
gender,
hair,
right?
men's hair, whatever. It's either short, medium, or long, you know? So, gringe, like the 90s gringe look is coming back. Longer hair is coming back. The wolf cuts, all those things that only some of us were able to do back then. Now, a lot of people are able to do it now. But yeah, I think at least that's where I'm going to take myself.
Yeah,
you know?
I do see a rise on shear work, precision cutting. Because I took some classes with like some of the most I like the newer educators now, like Barber Josh, and I did like Mason Pomade with Jack Louie, and I think that's something that people are really interested in, because for them it's like rocket science, you know. For me it was rocket science too when I was starting.
Yeah.
But I feel like it's still developing. I haven't the courses I've taken, they're structured great. I feel like they could be structured better. But I feel that's where the industry was going. But me and Kay were talking about how we just want to innovate the industry now. But it's like you said, all the videos look the same. Everyone's over here doing the same content, the same graphic, the same editings. We just don't know where to go now. Right. Like that's where we're at.
I think if you sit down and think of your goal and your goal, or if it's combined or separate, what do you want out of life? Instead of thinking, what do I want? Why do I want to go viral? Why do I want to change the industry? No offense, but what does the industry have to do with your life? I was about to say fuck the industry, but I was like, oh, too far.
It's like LeBron said, it's just basketball. It's like it's just hair.
Don't bring up that bum. Don't bring up that bum. No, it's just I'm just saying the industry doesn't pay your bills, right?
Yeah.
It doesn't. So what do you want to do to pay your bills and makes you passionate to do? And that's how you're going to reinvent, or innovate the industry. Like nothing comes from nothing. So everything has been done. So it's either coming back in full circle again and it's just part of the cycle. But what do you want to do? What do you want to do? And does it align to your goals? And you'll see that you'll reinvent and you'll be that person for your circle. And then it'll keep expanding. But if you're trying to focus on the outside, then work on the inside, I think it's not going to be as successful as you guys think. Do the inside first. Do it in your community. And then you'll see how to expand.
Damn. That's deep. Yeah, we got to start with the people around us, right? Like the community.
With yourself and then the people around us.
Yeah, because I always think that for the most part, when we've had a few guests here, and some of them are like, oh, how are you guys just talk naturally on camera and like all that stuff? That's kind of hard for me. And these people have been in the game for a few years, right? And they've just never tested these type of waters to do this. And what I'm learning is that a lot of the industry, and just like life, you know, like it is kind of going in a circle, right? And we have this cycle. Like right now, we're going back, like you said, to 90s haircuts. You know, along with, you know, like fashion and all that stuff. Like the bell bottoms are out again from like back in the day. The type of music. So it's kind of like you have to adapt to where it's transitioning. If not, then you're gonna wait until that cycle comes back to what you're actually good at. And if you're not chasing, like getting educated on like these trendy haircuts and more precision cutting and all that, you're not only staying behind, but now you can only cater to that part of the industry. You can't
Right.
cater to it full on doing color, doing all that, you know?
Well, once again, it all depends on the person's goals and
Yeah.
what they want to achieve. If they want to be the community barber and just have the same clientele and have their check be, they're consistent, they can make a living and a lifestyle and buy a house, buy a car because they know the type of money that's coming in, then go. I mean, then
That's fine.
Yeah, all power to you.
Yeah, correct.
Now, if you guys are sitting here and want to travel the world and want to experience this and that, just know that sacrifices come with this.
Yeah.
One thing you asked me is, am I married to have
Yeah.
kids? I go, nope. So with married and kids, how can you be away for so long, perform at a high level in a different country, and still be a father and a husband and a barbershop owner and everything else back home? Like sacrifices
Yeah.
are going to be made.
Yeah, correct.
So you have to really think about, all right, am I doing this for myself? Am I doing it for the people around me? What am I willing to sacrifice?
Yeah, that's true. Because like me and Diego, we would want to do that, and I can speak for myself, and I want to do that. I want to be in every room, every event, people to see me and recognize me and stuff like that.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's something that fills my drive also. But I also have a family at home that really fills my heart, that really makes me feel good. So if I'm out there, I can't be at my kid's basketball game. If I'm out doing this, I can't be at my sister's baby shower or something.
Yep.
So I've tried to analyze that with other people when I see these other pioneers that are out there that I look up to, and they're doing all this stuff. And it was one of the questions, one of the things that me and Diego talked about was that, man, we got to ask Leche, how do he separate the industry life with his actual Leche life?
Correct.
Thomas life. So how do you kind of balance that? Like, I know you mentioned also about, your dad passing, and that really made you reflect on life. And I can relate to that a lot because my dad just passed too in 2022. So that actually, and I was at my peak. We had just had the Colores event. I had just finished doing the color tour. And people were just hungry for more of my ideas and what I wanted to do. And it suddenly life really hit. Like, this is real life,
Correct.
And I had to step back and see, okay, well, what do I need to do? Like, well, right now, the industry doesn't matter to me at all. I need to be with family. I need to be, catering to my mom, catering to everyone that's coming over that feels sympathy for us and all that. So I really had to take that time off and do that. But I also realized as I was in the midst of that I needed to bounce back, and I couldn't be sad all the time. I needed to bounce because my kids are looking at me. There's actual fans and people that look up to me that I never knew of until I actually started doing these classes, until I actually started throwing these events, and I just felt like I can't please everyone, but I also have it in my power to address these certain things where do more things for the community and bounce back to let everyone know that I'm okay, that things like this really do happen
in life,
and we just gotta be strong for them, not just also like mainly for our family, because that's what matters the most, but there's someone's life that you're touching and they're looking up to you and they're trying to figure out how, when they run into something like that, they look up to you, so you want to show them what you do to bounce back. So then I started wiggling my way into doing, we did another event, which was the Dia de los Muertos event, and brought that spark back up, brought the name ongoing. It went really, really good. Then I started working on my own barbershop, carried the name to that.
Yeah.
And now we're here doing the podcast. So this year has been, the Mambo year for me, where I just have that mentality that I'm just going to keep moving forward, keep doing what I need to do. And that's why I like to have sit downs like this, because I feel like surrounding myself with different people and surrounding myself with people that have the experience, that have the knowledge, it's only going to make me a better person. It's only going to help us and Diego also learn that we got to keep our eye on the prize and have that vision sparked up always, bro.
Always. The thing with balance, going back to, you said, how do you balance things? I think balance is like juggling.
Yeah.
So if you see a juggler, where's his eyes? On what part? Let's say they're balls, right? The one that's going up.
Yeah.
Correct? the one that's side to side is almost so natural. It's here. So just understand that whatever you're doing at that moment that has your attention, what happens to once it hits its peak, what does it do?
It falls down. Yeah, comes down.
Damn.
So if I'm thinking about work, well, family is going down. I'm thinking about personal goals, well, work is going down. And I'm thinking about my family. So the best way I can say to balance it is that when you're with family, you better not be thinking about work.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And when you're at work, you better not be thinking about family. So if in order for you to do that, communication is key. So your wife and kids have to know, hey, when I'm at work, guys, I'm at work, this and that. Give me the space to be the best at work. But when I'm with you guys, you got to stay true to your word and honor that I'm just going to be with you guys. Because there will always be a barber event, but your kid is only going to be 5 for 1 year.
Yeah.
So that is now what do you value? That?
Yeah, because
every year there's going to be something.
it's crazy because I go through that. I go through that right now because I'm constantly like we're at the dinner table and I'm just on my phone like
Correct.
trying to finish this edit or like trying to finalize this pose and all that. And it's like I'm not realizing like like let's eat, let's conversate and all that. And I'm just like, oh, I know, but I gotta finish this because we gotta make a living and we gotta do this and I'm just like, man, but it feels so ugly and nasty to be doing it while at home.
Correct.
So I guess I'm just learning to balance that and to try to be like, you know what, phones down, it's dad time and then it's barber KO time, and then just get it in between that.
I had a system before. It was called 12-6-6.
12-6-6.
12-6-6. It's 12 hours of intentional work, 6 hours of your personal time, and 6 hours of sleep. Your personal time could be family time, right? And everything.
Yeah.
But that's your 24 hours, 12-6-6. But 12 hours of work doesn't mean 12 hours behind the chair, right? If today I work 6 hours behind the chair, cool, boom, boom, boom. And then I did 2 hours of posting at the shop. Okay, prep your week. Boom, boom, boom. I'm at 8. Okay, now I'm gonna go be a father, husband, and everything. At home, be that. Who probably falls asleep first before everybody? They do, right? I hope.
Yeah. We're the last ones to fall asleep.
Okay, then. But have you completed your 12 hours? No. So it doesn't mean get on Netflix. It doesn't mean get on TikTok. It means, now I got more work because I've completed being a father and husband. Now, back to the editor. Now back to the post. Now back to this. Now back to designing, planning, da-da-da-da. Okay, well, I got to wake up at 6 a.m., so it's 12 o'clock. I'll go to meet. Because I need to get my 6 hours of sleep.
True.
Yeah.
So time management is going to be crucial to doing it, but make sure there's no gray area. No, don't cross those time frames.
Yeah.
And I'm speaking from experience because I did cross them, and a lot of things were sacrificed, right?
Yeah.
So the better you get at time management, the better you're going to be at achieving what you want to achieve. But always be in the moment.
Be where your feet are.
Yeah.
Be in the moment because, man, things are going to pass you by and you're going to be stuck on a little screen.
Leche, when you were traveling and doing all these education, were you doing the flyers and the promoting, the marketing, the videos? You were editing the videos?
Luckily we had Ron just saying, he's a beast. We had different videographers, but Ron was our main guy, and he's still a beast. I think he's the GOAT, but it took a lot of work, right? We do our own editing and we do our own flyers, Diego and I, and we do, those YouTube University, man. Once I was the only one awake, then I'll learn how to do Adobe Photoshop, or how do I learn how to do Illustrator, and just learning as I go,
So when you and Diego started like traveling, did you guys were just learning as you go, or we
knew some. We already because individually we had already worked on our own things and editing. But yeah, he's another student of the game too. Like he never stops learning, and I like to say like the people that are around me is like what you see on IG is how they live their life. Yeah, that's the one thing. That's why I run with them. There's no fraud, no. They're
not faking it. Nothing.
That's how they are, and he's a freaking. I'm proud of him as well. Like such a hard worker. He does what he does behind the chair, owning a shop, traveling, educating, being a sponsored artist, and a father. And not even a great brother, a great son. Like the things that he does, and he works out, and he's always holding me accountable, you know, because obviously,
Yeah.
I la llevo. But yeah, man. I mean, I love his mentality and his mindset. You know.
Okay.
He's a
So
go-getter.
will you advise people to just like barbers, whatever they have an idea or a project, to just start or first get the resources and the knowledge, or what was your take on that?
Start.
Just start.
Doesn't matter how it looks. Just start.
Yeah.
What do you get better at? If your first haircut, is it as good as today's?
No.
No.
But if you would have waited till you had all the lighting, all the clippers, all the this and that doesn't give you the skill set.
Yeah.
So whatever
Correct.
project you have, run it.
Yeah.
Can you do a better event than Colores, the first one?
Yeah.
Huevo.
Yeah, you can.
But you just have to do it.
You just gotta do it.
And then you learn I could do this better than this thing. And then do the next one. Oh, then I could do it better.
Yeah.
Jay Majors goes through it, I'm sure, every fucking year with CT Barber Expo.
Yeah.
You know?
I saw you that you were at CT, right? Like
I've been
a
there.
couple of years.
Yeah. Mhm.
What was your view on that? Like, do you like it?
Yeah, I mean, CT is the biggest barber event that's out right now, you know? It's almost like hair shows are huge, you know?
Yeah. How was it the first time you went?
Yeah, the same. And I was like, dude, this is a hair show, but in barbering. It's like nothing compared to what we have locally, you know?
Yeah.
So, but I'm sure how he started wasn't like that, you know?
I heard the first one was like in the bar or something.
Correct.
Like 12 years
I'm sure,
ago.
yeah. I'm sure it
Yeah.
was, you know? So, and he only had a few sponsors, and Lee from Barbershop Connect, you know, was part of it and helped him out, I believe. Hopefully I'm not mixing up the stories. But yeah, I mean, it's just through the years, everybody sees him being successful now. Like, no, he started day one. you know?
Yeah.
So 10 years from now, when you have your 10-year anniversary of it, it's going to be probably massive and to the T. And even then, you're going to learn from it, you know? But if you didn't start the first one, you're never going to get to the 10-year anniversary one.
Yeah, correct. You just gotta get the ball rolling too. Like with the whole podcast too, we just said we're gonna record every week, and eventually the editing had to catch up, the
Right.
flyers had to catch up,
Right.
and I just like you say, YouTube University, you just
Right.
learning a new skill.
You just got to time frame everything.
Yeah, you
Time
gotta
frame.
Mhm.
What time is this time? And if you're giving yourself time to edit afterwards, then okay. I don't know how your family is scheduled, picking up kids, this and that.
Yeah.
But then okay, then what's the next day? Or when can I do these things?
Yeah,
You just got to time frame it.
the time, you just
And
time manage it.
communication, I can't. It's like beating a dead horse. Communicate with your family. Communicate with your spouse.
Yeah.
Just be as clear as possible, and be in agreement. You know,
Right.
from this time to this time, I'm gonna do from 10 to 12, 10 p.m. to midnight. I'm gonna do these things.
Yeah,
Then okay, but when you're with her, be there.
be there. Yeah,
Your phone going off, the message is still
Ignore
gonna
it.
be there, bro.
Yeah,
the message is
correct,
still gonna be
correct.
there.
true.
That's true. That's true. And I know you're involved with, I know you're involved with a lot of brands and a lot of different companies that you've educated for, and just kind of pushed. What are some of the some good tips to give some of the barbers or stylists that want to get into these brands? I know everyone says, "Hey, just be yourself," you know, but there's more to it than being yourself. I feel that you would have to do to even get their attention. Do you feel like these brands are not just picking people that are putting out content, or you feel like now they've also switched it up and they're looking at more different qualities in an individual to actually put them on, opposed to when they're first starting?
For sure.
Because I know you've been part of like big teams that take you on stage and do all this stuff. I also saw a lot of controversy where a lot of brands are kind of just like paying these people with product, and that's why these people don't kind of want to be part of that.
That's
And
not
like
even, that's
multiple
not
things.
controversy. That's just regular. That's standard, I think.
That's standard, right?
So your excuse me, your entry level is going to be paid with product,
Yeah.
because you got to think if it was vice versa. You have a Fiji water company, and you want me to market you. Are you going to pay me money first, or will you give me product to see if I can even move the product?
Yeah.
And then once I prove that I can sell your product, okay, now I can throw you some money, because now you developed money for me to pay you. So the biggest thing is return on investment, right?
Yeah, the
ROI.
ROI.
I understand what I bring to the table, me being the brand. I don't know if you can deliver selling my product. So that's going to be the biggest thing. But right now, it's definitely going to be TikTok and influence. If you can have influence and you can move a product, then people will pick you up. That's hands down, because I know guarantee as soon as you make a video, I'm going to get my return. Product is money, though.
Yeah.
A lot of people are like, I don't want fucking product. Then that means you don't sell product at your shop.
Yeah.
Because if you give me a case of 30 pucks and I say sell it for $20, how much did I just get paid for?
Yeah.
Easy check.
Yeah.
You just gave me, I just got to go and sell it. And now I'm
Correct.
providing a client with a product.
Correct.
So, I mean, some people are like, oh, that means you're not moving
No,
product.
Ivan Zoo was talking about in Connecticut. Like, if you're not selling product, you're missing out on a lot of money. And so I remember I left every time I leave CT, I actually try to do the things that they say. And at some point I was selling sustainment product, and I was getting it. I met someone over there in CT, and they were giving it to me in bulk. So now every client was leaving with like a product and like a hairspray sometimes, and it'll be like $100 transaction almost, because the haircut and the two products. And I was just like, damn, that's crazy. You can make way more money with product.
And I teach people if you want to not teach, I guess, kind of like teach your clients on how to pay you more money. It's through product. The more comfortable they get used to giving you more money than your haircut is, when you raise your price, they're like, oh, I was already kind of used to giving you that money.
Now you kind of like, some of my clients now, like last time I had a client like, hey, what pomade are you using? I'm like, oh, it's a statement one. He's like, oh, how much it costs? It's like, oh, this much. And he's like, oh, I don't got it today, but I'm gonna get it next time. But when he paid me, he tipped me what the product was. So I was just like, bro, wait, hold on. Like, bro, take the product. And I take it. And he's like, for real? I'm like, yeah, bro, you tipping me a little bit more what the product is. Just take it. And he was like, all right, cool. But it is true. You get them used to just paying you above the actual price.
And I'd rather have you take the product and try it out and pay me on the next one. Don't trip.
Yeah.
Like, that's just part of doing business, willing dealing. If for whatever reason this guy never pays me for the product, then that's not a client I want.
Yeah, true.
Do you know what I'm saying? Like,
True.
it's just you came up. I paid whatever I paid for the product is a good price to pay to know that this is a character that I don't want. Like, his characteristics is not what I want in my chair. So. I mean, never be afraid to be like, dude, no, I'd rather have your hairstyle feel good, look good, and it's because out of this chair, than saying, oh, I don't have the money, and then they go to another store, got a $5 product, and they're like, I'll just go do it this way.
Correct.
Take my product. This is how much it costs. Get me next time. Don't even worry about it.
Yeah, Leche, I'm pretty sure right now in your career, you're at a point where you choose your clients, right?
Yes.
Like, the clients don't choose you. You be like, okay, I want to work with this client.
Correct.
And so, in regards to that, how does your work schedule look like? Are you working every day?
No. I'm currently working, 2 days, but I just opened it up on more days as well.
So you only work 2 days out of the week? Yeah? That's crazy.
That's dope.
But
cutting hair, right?
Correct, cutting hair. But I'm going to move it to 3 to 4 days because the 2 days were like just heavy,
You were like doing 2 full days, like
Correct.
what, like 12 hours or what?
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Sometimes even more. It depends. I mean, not full, like 12, say. So I currently work inside of a private gym called Madhouse Gaines Asylum. So they open at 5 a.m. So, I mean, I'm not going to miss the morning rush. And usually it's a lot of business owners in the morning.
Yeah.
So then 6 a.m. haircut, 7 a.m., this and that. So then I'll have the workload in the morning. I'll get my workout in the afternoon. And then I'll finish the day till like 10, 11 p.m.
Damn.
But
then what do you do?
sacrifice 2 days to have 5.
Is it like walk-ins or what?
No, it's appointment only.
Appointment only.
So what's that like? What's the experience like?
That's
So
dope.
what your goal is to you join, because there's probably a good reason why you're cutting hair at that location. I mean I know where that place is at. Like,
Correct.
I've been there in the past, and I feel like there's a lot of entrepreneurs that go there because it's not your normal $30-$40 gym membership.
Correct.
It's, people are paying what, 100 to 200,
125,
125 to get in there. And if these people are already paying 125 to work out at this gym, $100 for a haircut is not gonna be nothing. $200 for a haircut to make them look good and feel good after their workout is probably gonna fit their budget just perfectly.
Their convenience,
So
their time.
their convenience and time.
So businessman is about time management.
Yeah.
So if they could get 2 for 1 right now, then boom. So yeah, I mean
Being there. So was there a
process.
barbershop already there, or you pitched the idea to them, or how did that connection come about? Because that's super
so
interesting. I don't know that's
the
gonna
owners.
grow.
Yeah, I do know the owners from beforehand, and when they were building it out, I asked for that room, and then I was like, "Yo, let me get that room to cut hair and this and that." And they're like, "Oh, you know what? We want to keep it strictly gym." They had it for the masseuse. They had it for the lab, where they could get their BMI and weigh scale and all that stuff.
Yeah.
And then once I had decided, like, you know what, I'm done of downtown LA, like, I'm gonna leave. I was doing a house call for one of the owners, and I just told him, like, yo, dude, I finally did it 30 days. Because I left in November. Back in the February of that same year, I was already thinking of leaving. So I still gave it like another 8-9 months, like, all right, let me try to let me see if I still want to do this. But
Yeah.
I was already kind of checked out. So, but yeah, so then when he said that, I'm like, dude, let's revisit that idea that you had. We're not really using the room like we thought we were, blah, blah, blah. And as soon as he said that, I was like, let's do it, because I was struggling with the idea of like, damn, I'm going to go back to a barbershop. Not so much the barbershop was the issue, was how do I, like, the price difference.
Yeah. Yeah.
And mentally preparing myself that, I'm going to have to do 3-4 cuts for one cut that I did here. Like, just everything that I was like kind of like working in my head, damn, I mean, like, it is what it is. I'm deciding to leave. So this is part of the growing pains. But the fact that I was still able to keep my, kind of my work for myself, don't have to work with a shop's pricing and everything. So, I was able to sustain that, and it's working out. I did lower my price. I do have a member's price and a non-member's price.
Okay.
So then that's just kind of reeling people that go into the gym to just start. Oh, okay, cool.
And it's just you by yourself.
Correct.
Here all day.
Oh, I do have another barber there that he works there Mondays and Tuesdays.
Oh,
So
okay.
you rent out the chair to him, or do they
Correct.
rent out the chair? Are you just in control of that whole room and
Correct.
whatever you kind of do in there?
Correct. I
is what you
partnered
do?
up with the gym, yeah. So it's my company is partnering up, so I'm leasing out that room, and then it's 2 separate businesses.
Nice. So that's really, really clever, because then you have control over who
Correct.
is able to be in there as a worker or even as a client.
And even so, as the gym expands and grows, then I grow with them, and hopefully have 2-3 chairs. I have 2 mentorees, I guess. I don't know what they're called, but I'm mentoring two barbers that are in school right now. That they come in, and I just try to get them. And I mean, I run the risk, like, whether they stay with me or not. Oh, it's okay. I developed 2 kids that are eager to learn about this industry, but as soon as I could get them up to speed to how I do things, the experience, the quality and everything, so when they expand and I have more chairs, I already have my people ready to go. So,
What are some of the things that you look for? Because I'm sure you're not just picking up everyone, or people I'm sure want to work with you.
Right.
What are some of the qualities that you look for, in case anyone that's watching right now would want to learn from you and would work alongside you and take on these mentorships? How do you handpick these people, or what are some of the qualities that these people have to have in order to be side by side with you?
Well, the biggest thing I cannot teach you is attitude. Right? That's the only thing that you come in with. The rest I could teach you. I could teach you how to make money. I could teach you how to create content, haircut, skill set, all that other stuff. So I look for attitude. Who has the right attitude? Who's willing to learn? Who's willing to go outside their comfort zone? Who I like to say I like to shove people a lot. Oh, he pushes me. No, I shove people. Like, all right, come on, let's go, let's go, let's go. You're not gonna wait on me. Like, what's up? Don't talk it if you're not gonna walk it. So people who are just like, who are nervous and anxious and like, oh man, they start sweating when I start talking to them, this and that, but they'll still do it. And that I cannot teach, man. Like, fuck it, I'm gonna be uncomfortable, like shaking and learning and this and that. And shout out to Steven too, but he's like, fuck it, this is what I'm here for. I don't care if I'm shaking. I'm like, I can't teach that. I can't teach that, So
That's dope.
Hey, Leche, who was your biggest mentor in your life? Like, who's been your biggest mentor? I know you it evolves, right, as you grow up.
Yeah, I've had so many mentors, and I continue to look for mentors as well. But probably my biggest mentor that's been the most continuous will be my older brother Oscar. But in business and in every field, I've always looked for somebody to kind of pick the brain. Diego's one who used to be. When it's funny because I say he's my mentor and then he says I'm his mentor, so like that's a cool bond. But but yeah, man. I mean, Julius I think is another one. I just talk to so many people and business owners that are in restaurant businesses, and they sit on my chair and I just pick their brain and they just like give me knowledge or refresh my memory of like, damn, that's right. That is how. I'm like, all right, I need to get back on that mindset and everything. So, I mean, they're everywhere. You just gotta be ready to listen and not talk,
Yes, correct. I think my barber career took off a little bit more, or like just my personal life, everything when I decided to go look for mentors outside the barber industry, like actually business mentors, like psychology mentors, and actually meet them, like, and be at these seminars. But I think barbers sometimes are so close-minded that they just want to learn from, like, I think the biggest thing I've been learning right now is like branding. Like your whole brand is really important. But there's I don't know any barber, maybe besides Diego and like Julius, that they have a brand, a successful brand, and they can actually teach you almost how to do that brand.
Sophie.
But I had to I had to step out the barber industry a little bit to get that information, branding, what associates with your brand, how to create a brand, your personal brand, your business brand,
The information's out there,
Yeah.
You just got to be able to see it, Like my whole experience is damn near mirroring Disneyland, Like,
Yeah.
Disneyland has been there for years. I don't talk to anybody from Disneyland. I don't do anything with any ownership at Disneyland or anything.
Yeah.
But I do understand that they have the audacity to say we're the happiest place on earth. And if I analyze, all right, they're saying they're the happiest place on earth. What do they have to do to deliver that? Well, you walk in and everybody's happy to see you.
Yeah.
Their place always, for the most part, smells good. There's never trash or it's never dirty around where they are. The
Yeah.
music is always cheerful. Like everything is just a plus, plus, plus to keep a smile on your face.
Yeah.
Right? So that if I mirror that and apply it to as soon as you walk into my shop, it smells good. The music is relaxing.
Yeah.
The shop is clean. The shop is clean.
You know what's crazy? Because I was telling Diego, I was like, can you imagine if you just kind of walk in here and it just
Smells
it just
good,
smells
yeah.
good, clean and fresh, or something different and all that. So I ran out there and I was like, let's see what we can do. I mean, obviously because they were trying to move some things in here. It smelled a little bit like gas and stuff. So I ran out. I went to go get an incense and I had it on here, just to set the tone. And I
Yep.
felt like one of the experiences that I had was when I went to Guadalajara. I stepped into this barbershop that they have out there, and it just smelled good. Everything looked clean, everything, and we're talking about a third world country, like you said, right? And it was just a hustle behind all that to make sure that everything's right before they actually open the door,
Right.
which was crazy to me, because then I turn around and I go back into this 5-star hotel, and guess what? I walk in there and it smells great. Everything's tip-top shape. And that's what I want to bring to my barbershop. And I shared that with Diego, and I was like, maybe we should do that here, bro. Where as soon as they walk in, it's just like, man, this is dope, bro. This is all the stuff that you got going on.
There's a technique called close to open.
Close to.
Meaning,
What is it?
Meaning right now, when we're done, we're going to shut down. Right? You have to leave this like it's ready to open in 5 minutes.
That's dope.
That's close to open. Because then that gets you into, in the morning when you come in, you're ready to work and not clean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If we're, I'm done. All right, let's get out of here. We'll do this later. Well,
Yeah.
that's already a bad habit.
Yeah,
You know?
correct.
You have to leave it ready to shoot for the next time and it's clean. So then that's when you come back, it's just touch-ups. Right? And even if you have to break things down, okay, break it down, put things where they need to be, always in order, always in the right place. And then now we come back, everything's marked, we put it back up, boom, 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 boom. But it's always close to open.
Yeah. I want to go back to the idea you said you were mirroring Disneyland,
Right.
Like, do you know Patrick B. David?
No.
He's like PBD right now. He's like, well, I'm trying to mirror him, right? But a lot of barbers and just everyone as individuals, they're afraid to mirror someone
Right.
because they're like, oh, people are gonna think I'm copying him
Right.
or whatever, But it's like, I'm a strong believer that just because it's me is already different.
Right.
Even though I'm copying his style, he wears a suit on podcast, so I'm like, I'm gonna start wearing a suit on the
Right.
podcast,
Yeah.
It'll be the more professional side of it. But yeah, I just want to mirror exactly what he does.
I know who he is. I think so.
Yeah,
He has an accent, right?
he's from Iran.
Okay, yeah.
He's from Iran.
He did like Elon Musk and Peterson.
Yeah, he does all those
So he
big
said
guys.
suit. I was like, oh yeah.
Yeah, he does all
those.
those guys. So
Good
yeah,
interviews too,
so
yeah.
like I just want to mirror these top, like you said, these companies are already out there. They have the structure in place. They have
Right.
the experience in place. You just gotta literally imitate them to
That's-
take your career to the next level.
And that's what I was gonna say. Try to find a company over a person. I mean, obviously follow a person and that you admire and try
Yeah.
to. But a company spends hundreds and thousands. They have a budget of probably millions. Disney has $1 million budget on marketing and branding and how they want to deliver the experience.
Yeah.
They spent the money. I just have to pick it up and see how it applies
To
whatever I do.
Yeah,
So,
correct.
yeah.
Leche, what do you have planned now for the future, like in your next upcoming years? Because I know, you know how we say, where you even say like, man, fuck the barber industry.
I meant it in the
good way.
In the sense that we shouldn't worry too much about what the outside's doing if we're not in control of the inside.
Correct.
That's what I was saying. Like,
So,
man, fuck about that. Like, worry about you. You know.
But that's how, like, I'm not gonna lie. Like last year around there, that's how I felt. Like I was like, I don't want to be the most viral one. I don't want to be the one like with the brand. Like as long as I'm building generational wealth, because I'm in the Chris Basio program, right?
Mm-hmm.
And they help you track your money, and it's like it's not about how much money you make; it's how much you
What
actually
you're
track
spending.
it, how much you spend it, how much you budget it, and at some point, someone that's making $70,000 a year compared to someone $150,000 a year, this person right here could create wealth just because he's putting away for savings. I got to a point where I'm like, I'm gonna just worry about this.
Mm-hmm.
You know, like I don't care about the barber industry, but it was just this thought that I had. You know,
Right.
so that's why I'm asking you now, like, because I feel like you're in that state of mind similar to that. So what do you have planned?
As far as the hair, I think continue to develop the people that I have under me.
Yeah.
Making sure that they're prepared and I'm prepared if and when I expand. So that's going to be as far as the hair, as far as the company Leche LLC.
So you do want to expand?
Correct. Well, if I expand with the gym or not, but I'm saying like develop the people for that expansion, right? So it's not like, oh, I have to look for people. No, I molded these people, you know.
Yeah.
So that's the Leche company. As far as myself, I'm gonna get into, like I said, revisit the long hair and be ready, just a kick-ass long hair cutter.
But are you planning to come back into the industry?
As of right now, I don't know.
Yeah.
It would have to be. I don't know. I think I'm finding more joy and more, not success, but more fulfillment. That's the word. Fulfillment with the one-on-ones. I think that is where I feel the most fulfilled, because now I'm talking to somebody who wants to be here.
Yeah.
Compared to like, I was at a show and the guy's talking, so I don't even know who this guy is, you know?
Yeah.
So I think it's just going back to time management. Just now I got to pick and choose who I want to educate.
Okay.
So then instead of just talking to the masses and I mean, I feel like I could go out there and still be Leche and people are gonna be like, oh shit, like cool, but like what's I think I'm getting more. The passion is to like this. Like, you guys want to pick my brain, talk? Yeah, I told you guys when you guys broke it. Yeah, say when.
Yeah.
Like, it doesn't even matter. Like, say when, you know? So I'd rather have that than just kind of, I mean, this could be a little knock, but also constructive criticism. Like, at that event, somebody said they wanted to do a podcast with me.
Mm-hmm.
I was like, okay, cool. You know, we're setting up, because obviously it was raining. They were setting up outside, this and that, but he never came back to get me.
Yeah.
And I don't know when he was ready, and I don't know when he was set up. I don't even know if he even stayed outside. Like, I don't know anything about that.
Yeah.
But that's someone that just tried to take an opportunity, because I was there. We're at the event. Oh, man, let me try to grab him.
Yeah.
Cool. But it didn't seem like, okay, because me, if I want to talk to somebody, I want to make sure, like, shit, do I need to move this inside? Where do I need to move this? I want this guy. He said yes. Let's make it happen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So that's kind of like the difference. We talked about it, and we reached out, and now we're here. Okay, well, that's the people I want to talk to. You know?
Yeah, with the doers, not the talkers, right?
Right.
That you, how did your circle feel about you, like, stepping out a little? Because I know you were surrounded by, like, Julius, Teiko, Diego. What was their, like, feedback towards that?
I mean, we haven't even had the conversation. I think, I mean, it's more family now than business associates or anything like that. You know, we meet up, we have dinners, we still eat and hang out, and so watch games together. Like, it's not longer. It's like it's a friendship now, more than anything, more than business related. Yeah, I mean, Diego and Scott Famos are going to Ireland and UK in June. There's a British barber, the greatest British barber bash. and we were there in 2022. But the venue got canceled, it got rescheduled, so we didn't do the venue. And I was debating about going with them, excuse me, just to show support, show love. Because the reason I told Diego is I remember coming up in the industry, and they went to Brazil with Pacino's app. And I just remember watching them on, I even forgot the name of that app, but it was like one of the first Stitch, like kind of live streaming. It started with a P. And I was watching them. I was like, damn, dude. Like, I told myself, one day I'm gonna be rolling with these guys, you know. And I have traveled with both of them, you know, but out of the country. So then they're gonna go do an event. I'm like, man, I'm just gonna tag along like the Chicle and just hang out with these guys and this and that. But I don't know if I'm gonna do that, and just because I have a lot of trips coming up. But
personal trips,
okay. Yeah. So, but yeah, I mean, my main focus and my main goal, as corny as it's going to be sound, is going to be my mom, you know, my family, my mom, and make sure she's good, make sure she's healthy. And whether we want to accept it or not, like, she's at the tail end of her life, and she's fortunate to be healthy right now. But how many memories can I give? Like, if you had the ability to know that, okay, you have so many years with somebody, how can you maximize it?
Yeah.
Compared to, like, sometimes we have people that just like, damn, they're gone, man, and we didn't even get to spend time with them or anything. That's why I always say, be in the moment. Say the I love yous. Give the hugs, you know, because damn, who knows what the fuck's gonna happen, you know? So
and I don't think it's corny though that you're saying that, because I think you're being selfless. You know, it's like you're like, it's not about me, it's about my mom. And going back, I heard someone say, like, you see your mom 3 times. You go out to dinner with your mom 3 times a year, right?
Right.
And your mom's 60, and let's say she's gonna live.
Do the math, yeah.
She's gonna live 20 more years. 20 times 3, you only got 60 more interactions with your mom before she leaves.
Yeah.
And you think about it, 60 is not a lot.
It's nothing, bro.
Yeah, so I don't think it's corny that you said that. I think you're actually like a realist. You know, like you're being real about life, what really matters to you at this point.
Hair's gonna be there. You know, I don't know how many more years I have, 10, say 20, whatever years that I have with her.
It's still gonna be there. Hair.
It's still gonna be there.
The
God willing, I'm still here. You know?
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, the triple P's that we were talking about back in the day. You know, like in the world we stress out and we worry about so many things, and it's puro pinche pedo. You know, like because when you really focus on the things that matter, we will drop what you said about your father. You dropped everything for the things that matter. Yeah. You just got to understand what things matter. And if you need to write down what you want and what matters, and have a pro cons and have a list, matter, not matter, but you still do the things that don't matter, but you just know that they're there. And then that way you could just have a visual, okay, this is what matters, this is what doesn't matter. All right, today I want to do some of this, play basketball, golf, whatever. None of that really matters, but I want to do this. Yeah. But this stuff, you got to make sure it's taken care of. Yeah. Because these are the things that matter. Family, wife, kids, house, you know, immediate family, outside family, everybody, you know? So even the people that work with you, like, that has to be in some type of category. So as soon as you start figuring out what's what, life gets simpler.
Gets simpler, more peaceful too, right? Yeah. More peaceful. Leche, we're getting to the end of this episode, but before that, I wanna ask you, I want advice from you. What would you recommend us moving forward with this podcast? Like, if you were doing what we were doing, how would you do it? And what would you do different?
I mean, I think you guys are already at a great start. This is episode 10. I think you guys already have the right equipment, the right energy to do it. I had a great time, a great conversation with you guys. I think keep going at it. You know, sooner or later you're gonna find your lane, what you guys are both passionate about. And the more, even though this is like 2 barbers doing a barber podcast, it doesn't necessarily have to be a barber podcast.
Yeah, correct.
Just be a podcast.
Just be a podcast.
And then, you know, because then think about the world and think about barbering. Yeah. The world is a lot bigger. Yeah. You know? And true. I hope somebody listening to this episode doesn't think, oh, I have to be a barber to listen to this episode. Yeah. So
that's what I was noticing, that a lot of listeners too, like, I know KO's wife listens to it, my wife listens to it, my cuñado's wife listens to it. So it's like, it's not just barbers listening to it, it's a lot of people. Correct. So we do want to evolve to a point where it's like we're just bringing in experts and like people who are professionals in their fields, and just them sharing information and sharing their story.
And people who you guys, admire and inspire from,
Yeah.
Yeah.
A side note is, I mean, make sure they're able to speak in front of a camera and a microphone too, as much as they inspire you, if they're kind of like, tense here,
Yeah.
then they're not performing at their peak,
Correct.
Yeah, which is some of the things that, I mean, we have experience with some of the people that have came in here. They're just too tightened up. They're not what
Correct.
they seem like they are on
Correct.
Instagram. They're not what it seems like. Once they sit here, it's like it really shows their true colors. That's some of the things that we like to sit down and watch. It also could be like them not being used to something like this.
Yeah, that's what I was gonna
They just haven't developed that part of their expertise yet.
or
There's
haven't done many of these events,
Yeah.
or these podcasts or being in front of cameras, but nothing like an interview process at Starbucks can't, get
Yeah.
a feel for somebody or talk to them at an event or anything. Get a filler out. You're just talking to a lot of people, this and that, and all right, cool. And then I'll tell you this, like, do that with 10 people, and then you have all right, we have these 10 people. You have a board, 10 people. All right, this will be 11. Let's do this one 12. We'll do this, boom, 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 boom. And now you have your roadmap
Yeah.
for the rest of the year, but you've already done the interviews with them, mini interviews with them.
Correct.
So now you know where to put who and where, and you can move people and be like, all right, this person's going to bring this type of energy to this.
Yeah.
Now let's bring the desmadrosa or the desmadrosa
Yeah.
one. And then now let's bring, like,
Yeah, let's bring a calm guy
Correct.
over here. Yeah, I actually did have a role model. I shared it in my last episode, Leche, but when I had the vision for the podcast, I wrote down the mission, the values, and then I wrote down, I think it's like 40 people's names.
Yeah.
Right, that I wanted to interview, and then we're just crossing them off. And like, I'm not gonna say a name, but we'll meet some, and I'm like, yeah, not this one. I'm just
Yeah.
erase it.
Yeah.
Like, this is
That's
not
good.
good. I don't think
Yeah.
it will fit the whole culture and all that. But yeah, we did have a roadmap, a small roadmap, and I think that's what's been helping us just keep the ball rolling.
and
Yeah.
shoot multiple episodes and have it in the back, because life changes, things happen, and sometimes you won't be able to shoot every week. But if you have 6 in the bag already,
Yeah.
like, all right, we'll post this one this week, and then we'll get back to shooting.
Yeah, correct.
Just
We
kinda have a
had
little cushion.
We were shooting twice, 2 episodes per day.
Yeah.
But what we noticed is that I think it wasn't fair for let's say we had a guest after you. It wasn't fair for the guest because me and KO were already mentally drained.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
we just like, I remember I did that for an episode, and I was just, my brain was just fogged
Right.
up. I
Right.
wasn't able to
Yeah.
to operate like I usually operate.
Yeah.
No,
it takes a lot of energy. Yeah.
Yeah, it does. I didn't know how much energy this would take, but when we're knocking 2 of them down in a day, we were talking, we'd be like, man, I feel like it's a lot. I feel like sometimes we would ask the repetitive questions because they were just
Right.
still playing in our head from the last person that we
Correct.
interviewed and stuff.
Correct. That's a good practice, because when you go to a show and you have that name and you're at a hair show or a barber show, you're talking to 500, 600, 700 people.
Yeah.
And you're gonna have the same answers, and you're gonna have the same you're gonna receive a lot of energy, and then you gotta deliver a lot of energy. So those moments is practice, because when you're out there, that's how it's gonna be.
Yeah.
A lot of people want to come up and talk to you, and they're just gonna dump, this, and then you got to return the energy, and then it's just gonna be constant. And sometimes this is repetitive, but it's just the name of the game.
And how do
you
you-
wanted to have a big name, so then you have to get
true.
this.
But how do you deal with that? Let's just even when you approach someone, or when someone approaches you, let's say you're already drained because you already interacted with so much people. How do you handle that?
Well, I don't allow myself to be drained, bro. If
You're
someone
like, I drink a bang.
no, I know, right? No, they always ask me, like, if someone were to ask me how would I define myself, it would be as a full-time energy and a part-time body. So my body's gonna be part-time, but hopefully my energy live on past me.
Yeah.
So every interaction is an opportunity to leave an imprint on someone's life. So there's no I'm not tired. What's tired?
Yeah, it was tired.
This is the life I chose. This is what I wanted. So all right, let's get up and get it.
Yeah.
So,
Yeah. So we're actually gonna dive in right now because we're getting ready to go to CT Expo and try to get some big names to where we can even probably fly them out here so we can get them on the cast and stuff like that, or maybe even take some equipment and stuff. what are some of the pointers that you can give us to try to attract some attention without feeling like we want to be all in their space or like just naturally just kind of going up to these people? Some of them are familiar faces, but we've never approached them.
Right.
You know, and I know it could be a little discouraging if we get the no's and stuff like that, but sometimes we have to go through those reps in order for us to solidify our way of getting someone out here that we really want to get out here.
Right.
What are some of the pointers you could give me and Diego to connect with these people to not sound like it's only beneficial for us? We want it to be beneficial for them as
Yeah.
well.
Yeah, so I was going to get to what's the ROI, you know? What's the ROI? And if you're going to CT and asking for sex, you're probably going to get no.
Yeah, you're gonna. Yeah.
So go ask for a date. Meaning, hey, hi, my name's Leche. Nice to meet you, bro. This and that, man. You know, in the future, hopefully, as we develop this and that, maybe I could get you on the podcast. But it's in the future. Let us build so that way we could host you. I just met you and I asked you for a date. That's it.
Yeah.
And the next time I see
damn.
you, I'm hey, what's up, this and that, and connect. But you're gonna get a lot of no's because you're going in there just asking for sex.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's true.
That's you got to develop. You got to plant the seed. You got to let them know, feel you out, see what people you as are, have time to develop this and that because they know if they sit here, well, they think their assumption is like, oh, they want me because of my name, which is true. But what are you guys gonna bring to them?
Correct.
So just meet
Yeah, it
them,
makes
say
sense.
hello. I tell the story. I met because you only meet a person one time. But
yeah, you meant.
I met Jay Majors 5 times before he was like, wait, I know who you are. So imagine everything, and I never got offended. Hey, what's up? This and that. I introduced myself. Boom. Next one event, I introduced myself. Boom, boom, boom. And it wasn't until like, man, I see you fucking everywhere. And then he started recognizing me. Cool. That's what I need to do.
Yeah.
Right.
I had a
Shout out
client.
to Jay Majors.
Yeah, shout out to Jay.
Happy
it
birthday,
was his
baby.
Birthday like 2 days ago. Right? Yesterday.
yeah.
Jay Major.
Let's go.
My clients were telling me like, "Oh, you're leaving this weekend?" I'm like, "Yeah, where you going? CT again? Why you going?" I'm like, "Yeah, it's my 3rd time, bro." He's like, "Man, why are you going?" I'm like, "Bro, I just want them to see my face."
Yeah.
Like you said, you only meet a person one time, but in this environment, you have to meet them 5 times because a lot of people are going up to them saying hi, introducing themselves. Like you say, you shouldn't get offended if they don't remember your name.
Correct.
They don't remember you at all. You know.
I hope people don't get offended when they come say what's up to me. Hey, what's up? And I'm like, oh shit, I don't remember you from,
Yeah.
because exactly we see so many people, we talk to so many people, this and that, and then I'm not shy. I'm like, oh, dude, remind me from where? And I'm like, oh, okay, yeah, no, I do remember. Thank you for reminding me. Like, hopefully it's not. These interactions shouldn't be awkward,
Yeah.
And actually wouldn't start with, do you remember me? I'll just say, hey, my name is, and wait for them to be like, no, I remember you.
Yeah.
Cool.
I realize when you have conversations with people, it's better just to be like blunt, honest. Like before you came, me and Kay were like, oh, how are we gonna let you know that this is not how it really looks? Like, and I told Kay, I was like, honestly, bro, just tell him the truth. I got videos. I'll show him what it is. But like you said, like you're not shy to tell people, oh, I don't remember you, or like for real, when like, you went to my class, what year? Like it's just being straight up.
I'm gonna ask you this though: have I ever been here before?
No,
Would I have known the difference that this wasn't your setup?
nah, no.
You see how you guys stressed over something that was like I wouldn't have known that it was 6 feet more of it.
Yeah,
I would have been like, damn, this is fucking dope. Which is what I said.
yeah.
And you guys were worried about it being 6 feet
I
further.
told him, everyone that has walked in here, they're like, oh shit, you guys got the whole thing going on. We get that reaction from this, so we're gonna wait to see what Leche says. You walk in and it's like, yo, you guys got the whole thing going on. Like, okay, bing, we got it.
Yeah.
So it all worked out.
I've done podcasts with the phone recording, like it's just a phone on the table and the sound quality isn't good, this, that, but the conversation was.
Yeah.
So, I mean, it doesn't matter. So that you guys are already getting this. Okay, cool. That's one step. That's one aspect of what you need to deliver. But this isn't everything, So don't worry so much about that. I said, imagine having all this and our conversation was ass.
Yeah. Like for what?
For
right?
what?
Yeah,
Exactly.
that's true.
For what? So,
That's true.
Yeah. What I kind of want to get this question off because I can't let you go without asking this. But in the industry, what me and Diego were talking about, we were trying to bring this event together that we could do where people could come and network and all that stuff. But we don't want it to be something exactly that people have done. You know, how do you get pioneers of the industry to unite to come? You know, besides the fact of paying them to come,
Right.
You know, you feel like we have to go on a building a relationship with them first so that they can support us as much as we support them, and how we see their vision so they could see ours. Do you feel like we have to approach it in that way, or do we just have to pay so that they could come and then from there build after that? Because I feel like on the West Coast it's a little bit more difficult to get a lot of people together. For example, like in the East, everyone kind of comes together for the CT Expo and all that.
Yeah, we
You know, but that's just what I see because I've
Right.
never been on that site. You know,
Yeah.
I'm barely gonna experience
Name
that.
another event in the East Coast.
There's not.
And
There's
name
like-
how many events we have here.
Yeah.
I mean, there is a lot of events over there.
Yeah, like
we don't know
Premier
because
Orlando,
here,
yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But no, it's quite opposite because I remember when we were developing and we'll do a lot of collab nights and hair jams and everything when we would host it at the shop at the loft. Yeah, it took us 3-4 years for people to see. Damn, dude, you guys are hella community over there. And I tell them like, nah, it took us 4 years to develop this. Started with 50 people, 100 people. The last 2020 April 5th, I think I was supposed to have collab nights. It was gonna be the biggest one, 500 people.
Damn.
Right? In one barbershop in Echo Park, American Barbershop, right? So it took me 3-4 years to get to that level, but I started with 20, 30 people in my loft, then 50, then 100. Then you have to build to something. I know we want to have the big names here. We want to have this. Like, I was fortunate that Diego and I connected, and he has a big name. And it was connected to, but I went to Julius's classes. I went to Scott's classes. They saw my face because I was there paying to be a student, you know? So, I mean, do it for the community, and then whatever big name sees it and wants to be a part of it will be a part of it.
That's true.
But if you want it right now, well, you got to pay to play.
You gotta pay to play.
You know what I'm
I
saying?
see.
So either develop it for your community, have your, I think your eyesight and your, I mean, if you want, your motivation to inspire the current community around you.
Yeah.
Start small, build big, and then sooner or later people will come. Because that year I had people flying from around the world to come to this event. And it was just a one-day event,
Man.
free event, collaboration night, meaning if all 5 of us were in a room, I pulled names in a hat. Okay, you're collaborating with. Okay, you
That's
too.
hard.
All right, get a model. Da, 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 da.
That's
And
hard.
It brought people who are in school, people who have been cutting 30 years and saying, oh, educators, blah, 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 blah. And then now you put them in front of people and they're like, and then they have more respect. Damn, dude, I respect what you do. Because, dude,
Yeah.
it's weird when so many people are watching you and they know what you're doing.
Correct.
It's a different energy,
They're
right?
different.
Big names, little names, everybody in one room, and it was a free event. My biggest thing is I was trying to almost shit on events, being like, I could host a free one and bringing the community together because that's what it's supposed to be about.
Yeah.
It's
That's
all these
true.
competition.
Yeah.
No, let's
No,
come
let's
together.
collab.
Let's collaborate and
That's
whatever
true.
we have to do.
You feel like that could still be something that you could bring to life when because you know of what's been going on and all that stuff. You feel like your hunger for that is not there no more for that, or
That's what
or,
I'm saying.
or
My
is
cockiness
it-
was be like, baby, I could do whatever I want. You know,
Yeah,
like,
Yeah.
the difference would be, do I want to do it again? That would probably be the biggest. Just like everything takes energy, and, you know, and that's a big thing to throw up and start doing, getting it back together. But I'm more than confident and positive that if I say I'm hosting one this year, it'll be successful. You know.
Yeah.
But what's my motive? Like, where is my drive to do it, to bring the community together? Like, okay, let's just say 3-4 years I brought the community together. Where's the community now?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Right?
Yeah.
So like, just know that, you know, I think I have bigger objectives in my personal life that are more important than me hosting an event for others
Correct.
to be like, oh, this was dope. I mean,
Yeah.
I know it's dope.
How do you feel like the community could be so you won't feel like that, but because obviously when you had these events, you felt like the community was there, right? But when you don't have the events, how can the community do something, you know, to show love? Whether it's like in the comments, like in your stuff, or like
not even
and
show
what-
love from me. I'm sorry, not the community. Meaning, like, now the community's doing their own events. Everybody's doing hair
Yeah.
jams. Everybody's doing, like, cool. Like, everybody's already kind of like they got it and they're doing it on their own. But what I'm saying is, like, all that work and time and effort, like, it's just gonna be for what? It's egotistical. Let me
Yeah.
just say.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just to be like, oh, Leche held that. And I try to remove my name out of it. Collab nights. Like if I say it's collab nights and you look up collab, you don't know who runs it.
Yeah.
I wasn't trying to be the face. I wasn't trying to do. I just want to put the biggest. All right, this is what I say. People want the spotlight. I want to hold the spotlight.
Yeah.
How
That's
do I put
hard.
it? You know,
Yeah. That's the kind of the whole goal with the podcast. Like,
Right.
just give the spotlight to the people.
right?
You know?
Think of. Have another reference of a tree, right? So when we rise to the top, we want to be closest to the sun, right? Because that's where we shine. The spotlight's on us. And I think I'd rather be the roots, right? The roots grow and they grow every different directions, and you wouldn't even know that I'm connected over here and I'm connected over there, this and that. What's seasonal?
The sun.
The sun.
And that's the leaves.
Oh, the
on the
leaves.
top
The
of the
leaves.
tree.
Yeah.
And that's the wave. So that season of me being the face and the show, okay, I fell off.
And it dies out.
But I'd rather still, my core foundation has always been the roots. So
I like
this
that
country,
analogy.
that country, this, and I'm connected to here, boom, 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 boom. And less people know, the better, you know?
Yeah. I
That's
think as you
dope.
get older, you want more privacy too, right?
Yeah, too.
No more privacy. Hey, Lechebo, thank you for being here. Honestly, we had a great conversation. I tell you, like, since the first day I met you at GT, I knew that you had a lot of wisdom in you, a lot of experience in you. So it was great that you came to share all that knowledge with us. And today I'm leaving with the idea. Like I told you, I always have the idea, like, do I really want to go through all this sacrifice to put the community together, or should I just worry about me and just worry about my surroundings? And so I'm leaving with a change of perspective on that, and just more like I'm gonna go home and meditate on what really I want to do, especially like both of you guys sharing your story with your dad. I'm fortunate to still have my dad, and I'm realizing that like just spending time with him is worth more goal. Like 2 days ago, I was with him in the morning, and we woke up, and it was the first time, and I don't know how long, that it was 5 a.m. in the morning. We're walking up this park, and I'm just like, damn, I never had this experience with my dad. Mm-hmm. And I'm like, maybe this is worth more than all my other things that I want. It may not, maybe it
Hands
is.
down,
It is
hands down.
So thank you for sharing your perspective, sharing your stories. We're gonna wrap it up. KO, we're gonna pass it up to you.
Yeah, legit. Just I want to thank you for always like being a great mentor and showing nothing but gratitude to anything. Anytime someone goes up to you, I know they have a smile on their face, and or either that or they're in deep talk with you, where it's like you're drilling them, and like they're drilled into the conversation that you guys are having. Is something that I've always saw in you. And, you know, just the little pointers that you give me all the time when I run into you, I've always take that with me, take it back to the shop and in a live period, and just practice it. And, you know, today you actually fulfilled my heart with a whole bunch of, you know, knowledge, and my mindset's a lot different now. Just now I'm leaving also with like, I want to be the roots too, you know, like I want to be the roots. Like, yeah, like the spotlight and like, you know, being able to talk in front of a lot of people and all that. I like that too, but you do make a big point when you are grounded and you are connecting where nobody could see, then I feel like you shine a lot brighter that way. You shine a lot brighter that way. So thank you for that. And, you know, continue to do what you do, which is inspiring others. And I'm sure the people you're molding right now, there's definitely someone I want to get their Instagram, because I know they're going to be great, because I know what you invest your time in, they turn out to be some of the greatest things in the industry. So I would like for you to share that with us. And if there's anything, you know, where we can help you do anything, I want to extend that out to you, whether it's like, let's just go have lunch sometime and just talk about life, or maybe you can show us some of your great golfing experiences, because I'm actually kind of getting to that a little bit. Some of the barbers that I got, we just kind of go out to the range, honestly. We don't really go out and play.
It's
but
addicting and expensive sport, bro.
some of those things, you know, some of those things, I know they're so fulfilling for you, and I see how happy that makes you. Right. So I'm kind of going through that journey too of, you know, actually about to barely buy my own set of golf clubs and stuff, you know. So thank you for all of that. Thanks for sharing your knowledge, and big blessings to you and prosperity to your family and everyone that you're surrounded with. And may everything you touch and see may flourish to the endless.
Thank you, man. I appreciate
Leche,
it.
any final words you want to tell to the camera, where they can find you, your social medias?
Oh, yeah. So you guys can find me on Instagram. It is hey.leche. It's hey.leche. And then I also have a nonprofit. It's at Hey Leche Foundation. So same, it's HeyLecheFoundation. Got him.
Yeah.
So yeah, I mean, if I'm always doing events around the community and looking for barbers to help give free haircuts to the community, to kids that need it. And the tough ones are when it's on a Saturday, you know, like I have one coming up in May, but it's on a Saturday. But anybody, if you have an apprentice, somebody learning, or anybody that wants to give out, or if you guys want to sacrifice a Saturday just to kind of get fulfilled, by all means, reach out to me and we'll make things happen. And yeah, let's give back to the world, man.
Thank you,
Sounds
Leche,
good,
for
man.
being
Thank you.
here. This was episode 10 of the DTB podcast. Make sure you like, comment, subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.
Let's go. Good talk.
Stay down, came up, God made a way.